Ken Marcus with the Van Center.
Josh, Fox. Josh.
With Fox 5? Okay, good, very good. Good to have you. So, you know about the sensitivity with students' names? Oh, okay. Okay. That's good. Thank you.
With us three courageous students, as well as my colleague Lisa Lewin, to discuss an issue that has become tragically more relevant just within the last 24 hours here in Washington, D.C. than it has ever been before. I'm going to say a few words before we talk, but given our gratitude for Congressman Lawler, at the beginning I'll see whether his Chief of Staff, Nate Sewell, would like to say a word by way of welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. Unfortunately, Congressman Lawler, as much of the House was up until wee hours in the morning passing a bill that was phrased the One Big Beautiful Bill. I consider the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act that we've introduced the One Big Beautiful Bill, and hopefully we'll get a chance to pass that later this year. Obviously, we're gathered here under very somber circumstances this morning following the tragic killing of Yaro and Sarah. And so we maybe want to all join in a short moment of silence for them. With that, I'll hand it back. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Nate, and please convey to Congressman Lawler our thanks not just for his hospitality this morning, but for his leadership on this issue, not just with the legislation that you mentioned, but in a host of matters affecting the Jewish community. We gather in shock and mourning in the immediate aftermath of the slaying of Sarah and Yaron by a gunman who chanted, "Free, free Palestine." We know what is meant by free, free Palestine. It means free Palestine of the Jews. There's another saying that often goes with it. They chant, globalize the Intifada. Now we know what globalize the Intifada means. It means free the world of Jews. When this happens, we can't look aside. We can't be silent. We must act. As a community, we are now going through the stages of grief. And it is appropriate for us to remember that one of those stages is anger. This is not a time for violence, but this is not a time for silence either. We have to understand that what is happening on campuses around the United States and on too many elementary and public school grounds, what is happening from the schoolyard to the campus to the corporation is now happening in the streets. And when we ignore those who call for the death of the Jews, we should not be surprised when there is bloodshed like we have seen in Washington, D.C. So while today's event would have been sadly timely under any circumstances, it comes at a moment when we need not to be afraid, not to shrink back, but to redouble our efforts. In that context, I am especially grateful for those who are standing up, who are making their voices heard. Who will moderate today's event has long been a champion for the Jewish people and for justice for all. Before she was president of the Louis D. Brandeis Center, she was a founding partner of the law firm of Lewin & Lewin, a longtime advocate for religious freedom, and president of the American Association of Jewish Lawyers and Jurists, and we'll be glad to have her speak as well as to moderate. We're honored to welcome also 3 courageous students today who have generously agreed to share their firsthand experiences with us. Their stories offer valuable insight into the challenges that Jewish students have faced and continue to face on campus. To help protect their privacy and ensure their safety, we ask that you refer to them only by their first names. They've already endured a great deal, and we deeply appreciate their willingness to speak with us today. One of the main topics for today is not just anti-Semitism, but defining anti-Semitism. Over the last several hours, there are several public officials who have clearly and specifically indicated that what we saw last night was an anti-Semitic hate crime. Most of them, however, are Israeli. Many American officials are waiting to be more specific or explicit in identifying what they see, as if we didn't have a definition of what is anti-Semitism. But in fact, we have a definition of anti-Semitism, one that has been embraced by a majority of our states, that's built into the Executive Order on Combating Anti-Semitism, and which is now used by over 1,000 entities around the world. At this moment in particular, we have to be clear about what we're facing. Yes, it's violence. Yes, it's a hate crime. Yes, it appears to be an act of terrorism. Yes, when there is a killing of people who come together for a humanitarian cause at a Jewish institution, for a Jewish organization, in the name of Jewish identity, we have to acknowledge that this is the hatred of Jews, and we must say that we will not stand for it. In light of all of this, I'm pleased to welcome my colleague Elisa Lewin, and also to ask the students to come to the table. Thank you, and thank you.